Morning. Happy Mother's Day. It is May 8th. And today we're going to talk about watering, and especially it's a good time to talk about watering because we're kind of in the middle of a drought here. It's May 8th and we haven't had really a drop of rain since April 16th. It's been bad. It's starting to get bad. It's starting to really dry out. So let's talk about watering and something I do a little bit differently than most people. Hold on. So I'll say it again, if you don't have the guides, get the guides. They walk you through this. There's calendars. We talk about watering schedules. I talk about all this stuff. So make sure you get the guides. They're free. Use them. No app, no email. We don't bother you. Just use them. They're up. Bookmark them on your phone. Interesting. The #1 golf course superintendent in the United States, undoubtedly, if you ask anyone, is going to be John Zimmer. And he is now at the Inverness. I keep saying Inverness Country Club. They're up there, and he was using some dirt booster on one of their new holes. But it was interesting. I was talking to someone up there, and they don't do a watering schedule. He actually spoon feeds his water. Isn't that interesting? So what does that mean? It's a lot like what I do. I come out and I watch my lawn. And if my lawn doesn't look like it needs water, I probably won't water it. If it looks like it needs water and I see some dry or hot spots, I'm going to come out and water it. So it's not a set schedule for me. I rely a lot on rains to do that deep watering. And why is that? It's because I know my roots on an established Bermuda lawn are going to be probably 15 to 40 inches deep. It's not like I'm trying to push water down to the roots. That's not going to happen. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just maintain against any burnout areas or spots where the lawn's going to want to go pull back and sort of go a little bit dormant because it's not getting any water. So what I do is I do it a little bit differently. I actually, when I'm in this drought cycle or lack of rain cycle, what I'll do is I'll actually do short cycles. So I'll come out here and almost every day in the morning, I'll come out and hit. So instead of running my sprinkler system 1 unit for 25 minutes, I'll come out and I'll run it for 7 minutes in the morning, and then late afternoon I'll hit it for 7 minutes again, and I'll do that spoon feeding cycle. And I'll do that sometimes every day or every other day just to keep the lawn looking nice. That's it. Again, I'm not coming out here and putting a huge amount of water on this lawn trying to replicate Mother Nature. All I'm trying to do is I want to keep my lawn looking healthy, and if I see it starting to struggle at all, I'm going to put some water on it. If I have hot spot areas, then I'm going to really put some water on it. So I'm also going to go up to the farm here in a minute. It's 7:50 in the morning. It's Mother's Day. I've already been online working I've been up since 5 a.m., but I got to run over to the farm, and I'm going to run the irrigation system over there too because all the plantings we got. So it's the same thing over there. I'm not trying to replicate Mother Nature over there. I'm just trying to put enough water down there to keep everything alive and keep it from dying off. Pretty simple. Okay, so everyone gets a kick out of this. This is the backyard controller. This is the beach controller, and this is the main house. I call it shithole. That's what I call everything on this house. I call it that. So I'm just going to tell you right now, this is what I do. I go in here, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'll go next. I'm doing this with one hand, sorry. So I'm not going to do I watered yesterday afternoon, but I'm going to water again. So I'm going to go just 6 minutes on this one, done. Zone 2 out there, I'm going to go 6 minutes, done. This one, 3 minutes. Zone 4, which is this. Zone 4 is actually this back area up here. It's going to need some water because I desperately need it. So I'm going to give it probably 11 or 12 minutes. Done. I'm going to hit run. And now it has started. So when I say that I actually don't have irrigation schedules, now I do have one at the beach. The beach waters quite frequently because it's zoysia, and it's a shallow well pump. Got my truck running because I'm going to the farm. So there we go. So you can see some hay straw from my neighbors, but again, this will run like 6 minutes, 6 minutes. This side area I only give 3 minutes. And I just spoon feed it. That's all I do. heard my phone ping. We're managing the wildlife here, just so you know, and just on my, I got an alert. Let me see if I can get this where you can see it without a reflection. Look at all the deer back at that one spot we've got planted, and the feeder back there. That was just now. So if you don't understand, someone put a comment and said, hey, you tore up them fields. That goes against everything you said. Dude, watch our videos. We're doing no-till and we're doing regenerative farming, but we couldn't work this field at all because it was 24-inch tall clumping fescue, and you would literally break an ankle, and there were trees all in it. There were actually trees in here, shrubs. It was horrible. So we had to one time come in here and make this a field. It was a pasture, it was never a field. So this is the only time that this field will ever get plowed or tilled. The rest of the time we'll just do no-till. But one of the keys to it is get your roots back in the ground. Never leave raw dirt. So this field here, I'm about to get sprayed, will never be in a status of raw dirt. It'll always have cover crops on it. And what's pretty cool is, if I can do this, I'll get wet. Crazy. So, yeah. Kind of tasty. That one's bitter. That one's good. That one's sweet. So we've got all kinds of turnips and brassica and clover. I'm about to get wet. That was good. I wonder when that was. Oh, I'm gonna get wet. So you can see in here where we put our dirt booster and on just the lines here, and then we mixed it in. And then yesterday I came out and I put dirt booster on the top of the rest of this in here. And man, it's such a good feeling to put all natural stuff on the ground here. No pesticides, not using any pesticides, not using any fungicides. We're not putting any chemicals whatsoever. No chemical fertilizers. So I gotta move this sprinkler a little bit. So what's funny is when that big sprinkler hits you, it's not like a little bit of, it's like, it's cold. It's actually a little chilly out here this morning. It's been hot all week. Uh-oh. So yesterday when I came out here, and this is kind of important, managing your wind during the watering cycle. Yesterday the wind was blowing this way. So I moved the sprinkler over here. It carried this way, any of the mist drift. Today the wind's blowing this way, so I moved the sprinkler on this side. So it is kind of important if you're going to be irrigating a garden or something. It does help to have a little bit of flexibility as far as the movement of the sprinklers. And then yesterday I came in and you see all these posts. Well, most of the deer are coming from that side over there. They travel that back area over there into the big woods. This is the small woods, and there's a cow pasture, 100 yards on this side. So I don't get a lot of deer. I get some, but not a lot. So what I plan to do is put the more favorite food crops way over here versus over there. So I'm gonna have probably beans and peas up here, and maybe some corn or something. The stuff that I know that they really want, but they'll probably get it anyways. They'll probably eat 50% of it at least, and that's fine. I'm here to share. It's not my world, it's all of our world, right? So what else am I gonna do while I'm here running my sprinklers? Actually, I have to come back here later, so I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of stuff right now. I wanted to get water on that stuff before I thought the sun was coming out. God, that's such a gorgeous tree. I don't know if you heard me, but amazingly, this place is full of pecan trees. Pecan. These are all pecan trees. See it? Pecan tree. Pecan. Isn't that amazing? Pecan trees take a long time to grow, to establish, but you can see these are like, what's funny is there's some juvenile back here, and then there's some babies back in there. We had roughly 75 trees taken off this property, cut down. The bulk of the logs got taken away, and then instead of spending hundreds or thousands of dollars to have this towed away, we actually dumped this here. But look at all that mulch. Is that crazy or what? I mean, that's 30 yards almost going down this way. But a lot of this, what's cool is a lot of this is cedar, and man, it just smells so good. Look at the color on that. Isn't that crazy? So I'll do something with this, and I don't know what. What I would like to do, to be honest, is I would like to get a composter grinder, and I would like to take possibly manure, if I could get some manure brought in from my neighbor, and mix the manure in the wood and then let that compost. You don't want to use, just so you know, you don't want to put wood in your soil. You don't want to put wood chips in your soil. And why is that? That's because there's the ratio of carbon versus organic matter is very low. That is a ton of carbon right there. And because it has so much carbon, it'll actually suck in nutrients from your soil and not give back. So what you can do is you can take wood chips and you can mix it with something like a manure, even throw in some dirt boost or whatever, and let it sit there and let it compost, and it'll actually sort of preload itself. So the wood will preload, and that, then you can put that into a garden. But you don't want to put just raw wood chips into a garden. They actually can have a negative effect for a good year. Just walking around. So I've got so the other day we planted a lot of wildflowers, and I planted wildflowers all the way along the edge in here and all the way along the edge of that road. I've got wildflowers all in here. So this, in about a month or two, this should be pretty cool to come back and see. Howdy. So I started this video yesterday morning, I think. And I went out to the farm early this morning, and again, I ran the irrigation system out there. I actually ran it twice. I ran it first thing in the morning. The guys were up there digging, finishing off the fields, getting them ready to plant. And then I ran it again in the afternoon. Man, it's just absolutely dry, dry, dry. So I think, because I was gone all day, I think I'm going to actually run my system at night. I know a lot of people say don't run it at night, but as dry as it is, you don't have to really worry about fungus. Trust me, dry conditions, when it's this dry, I don't worry about fungus. I'm watering. So I'm going to water tonight. Normally I water in the morning and in the afternoon, but I was up there. We're having a new septic tank and leach field installed at the house. We knew we were going to have it done. But also I finally made the decision. We have a shallow bored well up there, which is only 24 feet. And a bored well is like 24 inches wide and 30 feet deep. Well, I'm worried about contaminants, so he had, that same company has the drill machine in the area, and he said, if you want it drilled, you better drill it now, because he won't be back for a month or two. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have a deep well drilled. I'm guessing 350, 450 feet out there. So it's been a busy day. So I'm going to run out here. Again, I'm trying to get you guys to understand the difference between a normal watering schedule where you water deep, make sure your lawn gets 1 inch per week, versus some short cycling where we say, hey, look, it's just like a potted plant. If you have a potted plant and that potted plant looks like it's wilting, what do? You give it some water. You don't wait and say, oh, I can't water it. I got to water it heavy every 2 or 3 days. If something needs water, if a plant needs water, give it water. If your lawn needs water, give it water. If you have hot spots that are drying out, that happens a lot, give the hot spot water. Don't just rely on a rule. Don't rely on a schedule. Go out, walk your lawn, see what's going on. If it needs water, give it water. Don't worry about it. Hope this video has helped. Hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Doc.